Alright, back to the drawing board here. I think I'm going to get this aluminum strap. I think that's what I'm going to use for the handle. So I contemplated on doing this before because you got the gimbal bracket and you got these screws. So I thought about drilling this out, put some spacers in here, kind of bend this, step it out so it cradles right above. This is a really good focal point for lifting. The gimbal bracket's strong. I'm not too worried about that. But if you lift up, see it just slightly tips, which is perfect when you go to sit down. Bam. I can always take the handle off, but thinking about just bending this, laying it out. This piece should be about the right length. Bend it up. This can be tipped down then out of the way if you wanted. So I think I'm going to lay this out and just see how this works out. I got these stainless washers to space it out a little bit. But it's perfect for me to cut a radius from this and drill a hole, and then I'll bend it out a little bit and then bend it up here. So start laying out this, put this on each end. Trace these out. On this end here, because I think the overall length, I want it fairly high, easy to grab. Yeah, I'm just going to do one side, drill it out, lay it out, bend it, and just kind of see how it flows. And I will do that and get back to you. Okay, I ended up going a different route. I was going to use the PVC. I heated and flared. That's pretty easy for future things. It is strong, but I was just a little concerned with the brittleness, and there wasn't really a good attachment point here for this that I really liked without interfering with these knobs here. I ended up temporarily going to the hardware store, and I got this set up that I'm going to order on Amazon, some longer. These are 6mm metric, and I need a longer setup for the spacers I have in here for this handle. So I'm going to order some different ones, some aftermarket or different brand. Yeah, but this holds. This works for now. I mean, I'm going to get so it looks nice. That'll be in there. But this handle actually nice. It lifts up nice. I might put some foam or something on here, or a piece of wood. I'm not sure. Just to stiffen this. I mean, it flexes a little bit, but just an insulator put in here. This can be adjusted so you can tip it down, and actually it lines right up to this handle. It just happened to, but it'll be pretty much locked up when you're fishing. Yep. And then as far as the transducer, that'll be my upcoming video. As far as making the directional pole system that I have an idea for, I have the item in, and I think it'll work perfect. But the excess cord, I've done this with my Humminbird Helix 5 for my puck. I just wrapped around this bottom part here, the excess, because there's not a ton here, and I think that'll work fine. I have a couple switches here, but it shouldn't really interfere with that. So next upcoming video, I'll be making the bracket, pole mount bracket, and all that stuff, and I'll figure out some kind of mounting system for the pole, some kind of mounts that come off here maybe that will cradle the pole. So when you're going, you can just kind of set it, take the whole thing with you. So next coming video, that's what's going to happen. And to give you a little teaser, I guess, I'll show you what I have that should work pretty good. Just got to figure out some modifications, but this is like a camera pole selfie stick combo. There's different ones I looked at, and this is I think it's gonna work really good. It's compact, it's small. Different attachments for your camera systems that might help with mounting this transducer on there. But just basically kind of show you a quick rundown. This small, you'll be able to put it on here. It'll be a little longer when I get done with it, but each one of these extend out. And you can go, I mean, here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, the UP, we get some snow and ice build up, and you could be drilling 3 feet of ice easy. So, and it still keeps going. Yep. So, what we're going to do is take this part, oops, loosen this the right way, and this will extend out, see? You put it in the ice hole, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip-flop this. There's a nice, this particular model I saw has, I think it's probably 1/4 like most things, but this will literally come right off. And what I'm going to do is flip it. Drill this out and have this come down, and then it'll close, and you'll be able to lock it in place in this position instead. So then when you want to use it, it'll be like that, and it'll cradle your hole. And then I'll have a handle I'll make for this. The only modifications I can see I'm going to need to do is this clamp in here that clamps this down. There's 2 ridges on this pole, or grooves in this pole, and there's a couple ridges in here. It locks that in, so it won't spin. I'm going to just Dremel those smooth, so you'll be able to you'll be able to slide the pole inside this and rotate it when it's flipped around in the hole like that. Yep, and then I'll make a handle that goes right on top that you can use as a directional tool. So that'll be upcoming next. All right, moving on to the transducer pole. This is a selfie stick camera, universal camera pole. It's got the 1/4 mounts on it. It comes with different mounts for like your phone and stuff. But this end actually is nicely set up where you can rotate it and lock it in position. So it has this little knob here for this 1/4. Well, I am gonna, there's 4 screws. You can remove this piece, and I'm gonna put in a longer 1/4. So, and then mount this on there like that. That way, it's in the position, and then I'll like zip tie the first section, extend it out, so the lock is kind of in place. So that'll be like the mount. So what I'm going to be doing is 4 screws, take it off, put the bolt in, then I'll be able to bolt that all together. I got various washers and nuts in here to try to align this properly so it compresses against here. It'll probably rotate a little bit, but that's okay because I'm going to have this locked into place. so we can keep it in the right position. Because this, with the Eagle Eye, the transducer, you don't ever move it. You just change your settings from forward to down on your unit. That's one of the benefits of this self-contained transducer units, to having a black box and all that kind of stuff. All right, so I'm going to work on that. And then this end, I'm going to modify this and flip it around. Now simply, this comes right off. What I'm going to do is take the step drill and just bore this out so it will slide over this so it can go in this way. I'm just going to do that right now. It feels like plastic, so that's the only thing. We'll see how this holds up. Time will tell. I'm just going to gently drill this out. Going a little by little each step. Looks like it's walking a little bit, so be careful of that. You're all looking like waiting for me to screw that up. Let's see where we're at. There's a lip in there still. So I'm just going to keep drilling down. Slow. It's pretty good. Actually, there's a little bit of a lip, I think. Gentle. Yeah. There is some bumps in here that I'm going to actually hone out, maybe with this or a Dremel, because it keeps it from rotating. It's pretty close. I'm going to keep drilling this gently. Yep. This is how it normally goes on. Just kind of seeing where we're at. There's grooves in here in this locking device that I'm going to have to knock off with the Dremel tool. And maybe the same thing with this. Just smooth it out. Let's see if it'll go over here. I gotta take off some more. There's definitely a hump here. So I'm going to come back, clean this up, take the humps out of this stuff, and I'll be back. Okay, so what I ended up doing is you saw me drilling with the step drill. That got me down within reason. I just kind of walked it around to elongate or make the hole a little bigger of this piece here. So, which was the top part, now it's flipped on the bottom. See how this slides? There's a groove in here that would keep it from rotating. But now, loosen this up and slide this down. You can just snug that however tension you want when you rotate. That will sit in the hole hypothetically like that. And then I'm going to make some kind of arm, but this is a stopper washer I put on here, so when this comes up it hits. But actually this plate, piece of aluminum like this works good, but I might make something that hinges. I'm not sure yet. But literally this, I just threw this on temporarily. And do this here. And this actually is lightweight and it works. You just gotta make a spot where it lines up where the transducer is, but just lock that down, and then see, I'll probably put like a lock pin in here. Just loosen that up, and there it goes. It's moving freely. Put a little vegetable oil or something, but I'll probably put like a pin or something in here, so when you turn one way, it doesn't loosen the nut. But yeah, it moves. You can loosen this right up. Yep, and you can set your depth there, and then just move around. However you want to do it. Take this off and I'll show you this a little bit more. I know the camera, excuse me, the camera's at a distance, but this, like I say, was originally like that, so you can have a tripod, a normal tripod. Inside here, I drilled out that hole, and then I took a barrel sanding disc and just cleaned up the little grooves that are in here that follow this groove to keep it from rotating. Then inside this here, there was one in here too to keep this from rotating. Sanded that out. Then you just flip it over, and it slides right on. And this is just a clamp device. Push it down. Oops. Maybe we'll just take this. Slide it like that. Yep. This moves around. And you can tighten this, get a little tension. Yep. So I'm going to make a handle of some sort. There's the 1/4-20. This came with it. And what I'll do is whatever I make, I'll put like a drill side hole pin that can lock it. And this bracket, aluminum bracket, might be fine. It's super lightweight. Just thought something, maybe it hinges. That's up to you guys, whatever creativity you want to come up with. Idea is I just want it compact so it all kind of sit on there. I'm going to put this back on. This is kind of a stopper washer. So when you go to collapse it, it stays. Goes to there. Doesn't collapse all the way because of the distance it hits here. That's okay. That's collapsed enough. And when you tighten this down, it comes down a little bit more. Okay. The only concerns I have with this whole thing is, this is plastic. They feel pretty heavy duty. This is not real heavy duty, but when you open it, it goes right up to this thicker piece, like that. And it's actually pretty strong. It's beefy. I wouldn't be throwing it around a lot. It is plastic. And I'm going to get into, I haven't done 3D printing. I know a lot of people do 3D printing. I have a 3D printer. I'm going to get set up so I can make my own parts. So if this works out, I could make my own beefy parts to make this even better. I mean, like I say, these things are $100 to $300 something. This thing's super light. I haven't really looked at it. It feels like aluminum. This feels like this cheap metal here. So it might rust, and we'll just see how it works overall. But for the money, it's pretty nice. And I'm going to work on this next. Like I was saying, there's 4 screws. I'm going to take those out, put a different nut in, and see if I can get that secured. Yep, that is next. Okay, so here it is, kind of extended out on the table. You might be able to see it a little easier. This actually lightweight. It's not bad. I might just see how this works, and then I might make something a little bit better down the road. This can easily unscrew and be tucked out of the way if I needed to. Might make it a little bit shorter. But as you can see, I'm just gonna, this cable is it's gonna be mounted up here. You need to be able to have play in it. So I got these metal clips. I'm going to bolt one up here that will carry this cable, and it'll let it slide through, and you can take it off. So this will kind of get bolted up here in some fashion, so then you can feed down to get deeper in the water. But you can kind of see here, see the end moving. The only thing I can see might be needed is a stop collar here to keep it from sliding. I mean, when I tighten this, it kind of holds it in place, and you can still move this. So I'm going to try that first. I mean, I got it tightened down. It would take a little while for it to move down. So I'm going to just see how that is. If I need to get a collar, I can order a collar on Amazon to keep this thing from sliding up, so you can get more height off the ice. This is thin enough, so like if I wanted to, I could bend this up a little bit. Yeah, but it's all lined up. This collapses down here, then say, and you just need a way of being able to collapse the cable. I have this little piece here. I would come up with something different. I don't know. So when you collapse it down completely, it goes all the way up to there. Okay. Just pull the bottom down, collapse that in, just tighten this down. Say I'll probably shorten that. Just wrap this around a little bit, and then I'm going to make a bracket back here that holds it. On the bracket that kind of just carries it. So when you're walking around, you can lift the whole thing up and move it around. This isn't the latest unit, but I wanted all the power, not have to worry about it. So you could take out a battery if you wanted to. I wanted it lighter. But yeah, I'm going to mount some brackets back here, cradle it. Yep. So that's where we're at now. I think this is enough for me to kind of test this out. Just to make sure how it all flows and works. It's got to get the cable so it can, just a little ring, so it can slide through a little easier maybe than this, because this is a little small. I think I got some bigger ones of these. If you can see that or not, but they're just like cable ties. I got plastic ones. I think I got some big rubber grommet ones, but I'll try that. But overall, I don't think it's too bad. I think it'll be suitable for what I do. This cable is a little bulkier than I'm used to. Like I say, I haven't had forward-facing sonar, so we'll see how this works out, especially when it gets cold. But I'm ready to try this out, and I'm pretty excited. The Eagle Eye 9, the case, the transducer pole. Yeah, I will test it out and try to get some video and show you guys how this all works out on the ice, and maybe catch some fish and show you that too. But for now, I think that's it for this series. At this point, I will upgrade this. This is just a testing phase before I go too hog wild. I'm going to order in new ends for this. Longer ones. Need 25 millimeter long, 6 millimeter metric. So I'm going to order in some of those. And but this is enough for me to do a little testing prototype of it. And I'll follow up with you guys and let you know how it turned out and how everything worked. Till next time, good luck fishing, good luck building. Bachman Builds is out. Okay. I did a decent amount of things off camera from the last video. Last video was kind of mocking up how I was going to do the bracket. I had just mocked up kind of a down bracket here. So I'm just going to kind of show you what I ended up doing. You can see I permanently mounted. I just got some more of the strapping, and I permanently mounted with pop rivets, 8-inch aluminum pop rivets, 2 per side, and I slightly angled the bracket down. I just made another like horseshoe bracket like this that went around, and then the access piece is left. I put them here as a backstop. This is large silicone shrink tubing that I heated on so it doesn't mar anything or the cable. This is just insulated adhesive insulating tube for your copper pipes and or whatever. I cut those in there to give a nice grip. Padding. I did end up getting in my new knobs here. Work out beautiful. I got in nice Velcro straps. These are cheap. I have a ton of these. And these are actually really nice. I'm going to be using them for a lot more other things. But yeah, there's just stacks of them, like 100 in a pack. I think they're like under $4 for 100. But you can just fold them in. I used them here. I got several right there. That's all I ended up doing for that for now. We'll see how that works out. Let's see, anything else here? Yeah, now this is secure mounted part of this whole unit. Then I got this where you can just wrap it around. This is a little bulky cable, but this gives a nice trough in here to wrap this up in and feed your unit. Now this can just set on here. And it sets in there. All one unit. Like I said before, this isn't, if you want to reinforce this, you could put a piece of wood in here, or a piece of angle iron or angle aluminum pop rivet in there to stiffen it up. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't think it's going anywhere. If it's a problem, I can add it later. I just bought one link for this, so I was looking at to protect this from getting bounced around and all that. I just kind of tied one of these bungees with the ball on the end. I can't think of the name of them, but yeah, just to protect it in there. How do I have that? I wasn't even paying attention here. Like that. Yeah, and this just hooks over. Just a little protection. Yep. I haven't had a chance to test it yet, though. Weather's been crazy here in the Upper Peninsula. Anybody that lives here knows the weather is... People don't realize the weather here. We get tons of snow where I'm located. There's even more further north, but I'm kind of in the snow belt area, and it fluctuates a lot. So we went from no snow almost to 20-something inches and over the night, basically. Which, getting out on these lakes when it's this time of the year, it's a little dangerous. The holes open up sometimes. I mean, there's still a lot of ice, believe it or not. Here we still have ice, and it's, what is it, the 5th of April. But it's melting like crazy right now again. That snow's melting off, and I want to be able to just kind of see the ice before I walk out. You just never know, melting, erosion, and all that kind of stuff. Just be safe. So I'm kind of frothing at the bit to get out and test this thing. But where I'm at right now, I think we're all set. It's all done for now. we'll see how well this plastic holds up here. But it's actually pretty strong, as long as you're not just throwing it around. I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, so that all just goes in there nicely. Yeah, this kind of cradles in. These knobs are really nice. They do stiffen up the whole system. They grip in really well. So next, in a later video, I'm going to do a separate video of this I mentioned before to use this on my boats. I got several boats. Kind of a thing I've been doing since high school is I love working on boats and fixing them up, and the cost of boats nowadays are ridiculous, and I know a lot more people are starting to do it. Redo these boats so they're like new again, and I got several different boats, so I'm gonna use an idea of other YouTubers have had of using this with a PVC pipe. Well, I haven't yet tested it, but I don't even know if I'll need PVC pipe with this. Might be able to just adjust this open, slide the unit in, and it might rotate in here, or I might make a sleeve that fits in here. It fits that perfectly. But this will mount on a boat, and this is under $30. It's crazy. Like, try to make something like this. It's got everything. It's all you know, you can go up and down, you know, to your boat, whatever you're doing. You can rotate this, push it out further, which is good. You can rotate that into the boat, like have it out, then in the boat. Rotate it down, set it in place, you know. But where I'm located, located like a big area where I can get lots of metal, aluminum, and all that. So I ordered in. It's a little pricey, but I ordered on Amazon, pre-cut, 1/4-inch aluminum plate. And what I'm going to do is put these plates. I'm going to drill and tap these. I got these nice iodized aluminum. These are 1/4-20. What are these? 1/4-20 by half. I think I'm going to have to grind them down a little bit because of this thickness and this thickness. But those will go in there. I'll make a couple plates, and I'll be able to move this from one boat to the next. I have a pontoon boat. I have a 14-foot truss liner, tiller, and actually I'm going to be working on a project. I got can't think of the brand, but it's an old aluminum 10, 11-foot pontoon with it's a pedal boat. I'm going to convert it to all electric, lithium, kind of deck it out if it all works out. I'm going to have a bracket for that too. But anyways, I'll show this kind of after I already got it perfected and what I end up doing with this particular bracket here. Yeah, so I'm guessing I'll take this unit, right, the handle and this off, take this off, the handle off, and I'll put this in there. I'll probably have a collar, a heavier duty collar that works for the boats. But this is kind of probably going to conclude the shuttle build for now until I can test it, and I'll get back to you how the pole works. But for now, that is it. I didn't weigh it, actually. I will do that right now. It's heavy, not gonna lie. It's got some weight to it with everything on here. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, so it's heavy. I mean, 18 pounds with 2 batteries and all this stuff. Which I don't, like I said, I don't care about weight. You can lighten it up if you want. Yeah, 18 pounds basically. So you get your workout while you're fishing. that concludes this video, and stay tuned for the bracket for the boat, pole bracket. There'll be a lot more builds coming up in the future here. I've got a million things going on. And if you're ever interested, I do custom embroidery. I have been doing that for over 30 years, 30-something years now. Digitizing, creating logos for embroidery and embroidery, like this hat here. Do a lot of outdoor stuff. So, if you've got questions about that, just ask. My company is North Country Embroidery and Design in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.